boy survives after being bitten by one of the world's deadliest snakes twice in just 1 week. A 6-year-old boy has miraculously survived being bitten by one of the world's most venomous snakes twice in just over a week. Joel Canyon was playing outside his family home in Wongan Hills, 180 kilometers north of Perth, 7 months ago when he was bitten by a deadly western brown snake. He survived after being flown to the state capital for treatment, but 8 days later he was bitten again, by the same species of snake, on the same street. Joel's mother Pippa said her son came calmly inside after being bitten the first time and told her he had a question. 7 News reported. If you get bitten by a venomous snake in Australia, do you go to heaven? Joel asked. The quick-thinking 6-year-old knew not to panic, and said he walked slowly so as not to move the venom through his bloodstream. Joel then collapsed and started convulsing before his parents rushed him to hospital. His eyes were rolling back. He was hissing and I knew he wasn't getting enough oxygen, Pippa said. Then just over a week later Joel survived being bitten again, possibly thanks to still having anti-venom in his system from the first bite. I thought I was going to survive again because I survived the first time, and I did, Joel said. Joel was also lucky that the local hospital is located at the end of his street just minutes away, and stocks anti-venom for the western brown. Months later Joel still suffers anxiety due to fears he may be bitten again, and his family is calling for others to learn first aid. The ground-dwelling western brown snake is native to Australia and grows up to 1.8 meters long. Extremely aggressive, especially when cornered, the western brown can deliver a deadly bite, but is less venomous than its relative, the eastern brown. The Australian Resuscitation Council recommends the pressure immobilization technique. Apply a broad pressure bandage firmly and tightly. To reduce blood flow and delay venom spread, apply a further bandage starting at the fingers and toes and covering as much of the limb as possible. Splint the limb including joints on either side of the bite. To restrict limb movement, keep the bite victim and the limb completely at rest. Bring transport to the victim if possible. Transport the victim to medical care, preferably by ambulance. If alone, the victim should apply the pressure immobilization bandage as completely as possible over the bite site and affected limb and keep immobile until assistance arrives. Do not wash the area of the bite or try to suck out the venom. It is extremely important to retain traces of venom for use with venom identification kits. Do not incise or cut the bite, or apply a high tourniquet. Cutting or incising the bite won't help. High tourniquets are ineffective and can be fatal if released. Source: The Australian Resuscitation Council.